What's good, YouTube? This your boy Lang, man, and I'm back here with another reaction video, Slime. And right now, I'm about to react to Samuel Little, a national horror. Now, Samuel Little, I've never heard of, bro. You feel me? A lot of y'all was like, bro, you gotta hear about this story. You feel me? Like, bro, it's crazy. You feel me? And if y'all never really watch my forensic videos, then y'all probably don't know because I know a lot of people watch me for like the music reactions and you feel me? But I don't just do music reactions. Like I be trying to tell y'all, you feel me? Like a lot of y'all just be thinking I'm a music reactor. Like, no. You can go on my channel. I do forensic file reactions like this one. I do funny video reactions. Like I do a lot of things other than music. You feel me? And these reactions right now, like the one I'm about to watch right now, you feel me? I said these reactions right now. I meant this reaction, these reactions right here is one of my favorite reactions to do besides my music reactions and funny video reactions. Like I love doing the forensic files because it's real life stories. Like you hear the most craziest things in this one. Like a lot of y'all was like, bro, you're just crazy. You feel me? You gotta watch it. So we about to see who like this dude is and like what happened. You feel me? Like why is he a national horror? Like I want to know. You feel me? And before I get started, you already know if y'all new over here, make sure to hit that sub button. You feel me? Make sure to check out all the reactions. Like I said, we got the forensic file reactions like this one on the channel. We got the music reactions, got the funny video reactions. Like just go check them out. You feel me? If you haven't already, Slime. But this that Samuel Little National Horror Serial Killer Files episode 41, and I've reacted to the Serial Killer Files before. Like I got a couple episodes, so we about to see what this episode's like. About to see what's going on. You feel me? Like we about to see this that Samuel Little a national horror. Slime. Let's go.
He was a man who killed as though he was made for it, as though it was his sole purpose in life. And to him, perhaps, that was the case. His number of victims, either suspected or confirmed, makes the skin crawl either way. In this episode, we discuss the case of one of America's most prolific serial killers, Samuel Little. Let's open the serial killer file. This episode of Seriously Strange is sponsored by Audible. Check the description below for more information. It was September 5th, 2012, at a homeless shelter in Louisville, Kentucky. The shelter was full of people down on their luck, but one man among them was in a much more dire situation, one that he himself had caused. Police arrived at the homeless shelter and found who they were there for, Samuel Little. But this was no youthful adolescent. It wasn't even someone middle-aged. No, police slapped a pair of handcuffs on a 72-year-old man who appeared to be no threat to anyone. But that assumption would be quite wrong, in a way that not even police could have expected. They were there to have Samuel Little extradited to California to face a narcotics charge. Upon taking some of Samuel's DNA, the horrible truth began to unravel, and the terror that was Samuel Little was about to come to light. On June 7th, 1940, Samuel Little was born in Reynolds, Georgia. His mother was believed to have been a prostitute, and his father's presence in his life isn't known whatsoever. It was possible that Samuel's mother became pregnant from one of her clients. With a child and a plethora of new responsibilities, Samuel's mother took him, packed up, and moved to Lorain, Ohio, where Samuel's grandmother resided. It was at this time that his grandmother started to take care of him, his mother fading out of the picture more. This was a recipe for a dysfunctional child, and Samuel's childhood held true to that idea. He attended Hawthorne Junior High School and was often getting into trouble. This aside, his grades were lower than average as well. By the age of 16, Samuel was getting around, traveling from Lorain, Ohio to Omaha, Nebraska, where he was arrested for breaking and entering. Samuel was sent to an institution for juvenile offenders. This place would do nothing to stop him from evolving as a criminal. Before he was even 25, he had spent 3 years in prison for breaking into a furniture store in Lorain. In his late 20s, Samuel moved back in with his mother, who had since relocated to Florida. It was here that he held a few different jobs, one of which involved working at a cemetery. Then Samuel had decided that staying put in one place truly wasn't for him at all, so he started to travel around the country, with his criminal demeanor not subsiding in the least. In fact, it only became worse. He had been arrested and sentenced to prison numerous times for crimes as petty as shoplifting and as severe as sexual assault and armed robbery. If any of the heinous crimes he had committed were enough to keep him in prison, many lives would have been saved, but that's not the case, sadly. By the time 1975 came around and Samuel was in his mid-30s, he had been arrested 26 times in 11 states for similar crimes. Despite his relentless pursuit of a criminal lifestyle, Samuel was continually released from prison, and unfortunately, innocent women would pay the ultimate price.
Becoming an officer meant a lot to me. When I was in basic training, I met pilots, navigators, and I just saw them wearing the
It was 1982 when Samuel Little was arrested and charged with the murder of a 22-year-old woman named Melinda Lepre. This was in Mississippi, though while under investigation for this murder, which he wasn't indicted for, he was transferred to Florida. It was here that he was brought to trial for another crime, but not just any other crime. The trial was for the murder of yet another woman, 26-year-old Patricia Mount, whose dead body was discovered the same year that Samuel was arrested for the murder of Melinda Lepre. Witnesses for the prosecution were able to point to Samuel as the man who they had seen Patricia Mount spending time with the night before she vanished. However, the court wasn't fully convinced by the testimonies of the witnesses and made a tragic mistake. Samuel was acquitted in January of 1984.
Bro, it's like, bro, they keep giving him chances, like how, bro? Like, bro keeps, like, he's a repeated offender. Like, how does he keep getting chances? Like, I'm confused. Like,
Released after reasonable suspicion regarding 2 murders. If only the court system had known what horrors lived inside Samuel that he was yet to unleash. In 1984, Samuel was arrested yet again for kidnapping, assault, and the strangulation of a 22-year-old woman named Lori Barros. Thankfully, Lori survived the attack. After only a month, he was found with yet another woman in the same area, this time in the backseat of a car. She had been beaten and was unconscious due to Samuel having strangled her too.
you see what I'm saying? Like, bro was a repeated offender. Like, I don't understand how they just kept giving bro, like, a break or a pass. Like, that's crazy. Like, what? Like, bro, look what he's doing.
For each of these crimes, Samuel was sentenced to prison time. For the attempted murder of 2 women, Samuel served only 2.5 years. He was released in February of 1987, and he moved to Los Angeles immediately upon his release. He committed over 10 more murders here, but he was was far from finished. In fact, he would continue his murder rampage all the way until 2005. After his capture in 2012 at the homeless shelter, he was tied to more and more murders, and the Melinda Lepre case was reopened. Overall, Samuel Little was connected to the murders of 93 women across numerous states. He was a traveling...
Bro, 93 women, bro, but this all could have been avoided if the police and the judge and whoever, like, you feel me? If they would have just did their job and not let bro out and not have gave bro like multiple passes, like, and slap on the wrist, then I don't think none of this would have happened. You feel me? Straight up. Like, that's crazy. You feel me? Like, what?
Killer for about half of his life, and it was found that he had been murdering women since 1970. On September 25th, 2014, Samuel was found guilty and finally sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Despite the overwhelming evidence against him, Samuel continued to proclaim his innocence until 2016. But it was a little over 2 years later, in November of 2018, that Samuel began to confess to murders, and in May, sat down and spoke with a Texas Ranger. It was here where the floodgates truly began to open, and eventually Samuel Little confessed to dozens of murders, totaling more than 90 across 14 states. In late November of 2018, the FBI had announced that due to Samuel's confessions and information on where he had dumped bodies, they were able to confirm 34 of his confessions, and the story just continued to unravel, with more and more dead women caught up in Samuel's web of murder. Samuel Little has drawn many portraits over the time he's been incarcerated. Portraits of the women he killed, the lives he snuffed out. The FBI...
Bro, you gotta be a sick human being to do this, bro. Like, bro, you literally are painting, drawing pictures of the women you killed, bro. That, you're sick in the head, bro. Like, you need help. You feel me? Like, you need some help.
Released many of these portraits in hopes of solving the trail of cold cases left in Samuel's wake. At least one of them has solved the case. Samuel is now bound to a wheelchair and suffers from diabetes and a heart condition, a shell of his former self, serving 3 life sentences without the possibility of parole after being convicted for only 3 murders. At 79 years old, his death could be just around the corner, but it's quite likely that many of Samuel's victims will never be identified, and the people that knew and cared and loved them have never and will never know peace or closure.
Grab a spa day, grab a massage, grab a Groupon experience that grabs you.
Werther's Original Classic Hard and Vanilla Creme Caramels. Discover the original fall flavor.
Many of those people have surely passed on without answers regarding the disappearances of the people they cared for. If only Samuel Little had been punished more efficiently for his endless record of crimes, so much pain and heartbreak could have been avoided, and many of his victims would still be alive today.
You know, it's a shame that, like I said, bro, they didn't do their job. Like, the police, whoever, like, they didn't do their job, bro. Like, bro, look at all these innocent women he killed, bro. And all this could have been prevented if they just would have just did their job and kept bro in jail. You feel me? Like, it don't make sense. None of these women deserve to die. Like, what? Like, they should not be dead. Like, this don't even make sense. Feel me?
This episode is sponsored by Audible. I'm entirely unable to read, which is why I have my twin brother Dob, who none of you know about, read all of my scripts for me at gunpoint. Thankfully, I don't need to know how to read to take advantage of Audible's amazing service. Audible is the unbeatable provider of audiobooks ranging from all sorts of topics like motivational, horror, mystery, fantasy, and more. And they even have bestsellers too. This time of year.
Well, I guess he's just doing sponsors at the end, but I'm gonna end it right there, Slime. But yeah, man, like, this was crazy. Like, to me, if they just would have did their job in the first place, bro, like, none of them innocent women would have been dead. Like, none of them deserve to die like that. And bro, you deserve to rot in prison for the rest of your life, bro. Like, I don't have no sympathy for you. You feel me? Like, what you did was wrong, bro. Like, and you did it for no reason. Like, none of them women deserve to die like that, bro. Feel me? Like, I hope they having a playing field with you in prison, for real. Feel me? I hope they doing you worse than how you did all them victims. You feel me? Because they didn't deserve that. You feel me? You deserve everything that come with it. You feel me? Straight up. But let me know how y'all felt about this in the comments. You feel me? I want to know how y'all felt about it. You feel me? And I love you guys. Make sure to check out all the reactions. Like I said, we got the forensic files like this one on the channel. We got the music reactions, the funny video reactions. Like, just go mess with them if y'all haven't already. You feel me? I love you guys. Stay safe. And I'm going to get at y'all next time, Slime. 1.